Hey there, this is take 4 actually just because. And anyway, what we're going to talk about today are 6 box sets that probably should be in your collection, and hopefully for some of you there they are. At least ones that you're interested in. And we're going to start off with the Samuel Fuller box set. Samuel Fuller was in pretty much, now he's known for a lot of his film noirs. If you are into Criterion films or film noir or even avant-garde films, you probably know the name Samuel Fuller. Shock Corridor and The Naked Kiss are 2 of his most popular films. However, he did a lot of films, basically not just as a director but as a writer as well. And when Samuel Fuller thought that his movies were being done wrong, he became a director. And he didn't get a lot of money with his films, so that's why his movies seem kind of lower budget but higher quality. He knew what he wanted to do, and he knew he didn't need an overt amount to do it. And he didn't care. He just wanted to make sure that the movies were done right. There are 7 films on this collection here right now. It Happened in Hollywood, which is a comedy. Adventures in Sahara, which is a thriller set in the Foreign Legion. Power of the Press. Basically, it's a drama about the newspaper publisher. It's kind of a noir type film who may have committed murder. Shockproof is another noir, and a really good one actually. Cornell Wald's in that one. Scandal Sheet is one of the actually had John Derek starring in it, which Bo Derek's husband at the time. We've got The Crimson Kimono, which is a great thriller and way ahead of its time. A Japanese, basically a Japanese cop and a Japanese American cop and a Caucasian cop trying to protect a woman from a killer. Something like you'd see maybe in the 80s or now, but it's not something you would expect to see back in 1959. It was very risky film to do. Underworld USA, yet again, is another fantastic thriller with Cliff Robertson. As a man who's grown up after seeing his father killed by gangsters and joins that gang to make sure that he can exact revenge. Now, these movies are introduced by people like Martin Scorsese, Curtis Hanson, Tim Robbins, and Wim Wenders. Samuel Fuller was an extremely influential writer-director, and I would seriously recommend that you hunt down this set if you can get it. It's part of the Sony's The Collector's Choice series, and it's a good one, and it's worth it. I got it for cheaper than you would normally get it for, but if you can get it for cheap, that's great. But if not, it is worth the buy. Next up is the Bruce Lee Ultimate Collection. This one is fairly cheap, I think now. It has The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Where the Dragon, Game of Death, and Game of Death 2. There's some celebrity martial artist interviews, some outtakes. There are probably better collections, but for an inexpensive collection to get the Bruce Lee movies, well, some of the better ones, go for this one. My favorite, for the record, is The Big Boss. Next up is one of Anchor Bay's shining jewels in their collection. When I first looked at this, I thought it was part of the Eclipse series that Criterion did. Then I flipped it over and was surprised to see that Anchor Bay had put it out. And that's the Herzog Kinski collection. Of course, Werner Herzog is an extremely famous director, and Klaus Kinski is a famous eccentric actor. These 2 guys pretty much had an unusual love-hate relationship, where some pretty bold stories were told about them wanting to kill each other and stuff at times. It has the My Best Fiend documentary on here, which is incredible, by the way. And there are 5 collaborations: Aguera, Nosferatu, Wyzek, Fitzcarraldo, and Cobra Verde. Oh, getting tired, guys. And there's a lot of features on that one as well. Next up, I had 2 of these. I think I gave one to one of my friends. That was the Omen Collection. The Omen Collection is the 4 films plus the remake. Of course, the first 3 were in theaters. We have actors like Richard Burton, Gregory Peck, Patrick Troughton, Sam Neill, Lance Henriksen, I think, in an early role. And as with the pedigree would go on with Ivan Liv Schreiber in the remake. Now, the remake is not as good. It's not that it's a bad film, it's just it's an unnecessary film. Omen was just hit it right in all the directing was just spot on in Omen, the cast was perfect, and it was one of those films that just did it right. And for me, Omen 2 was, although it may not have the same quality as the first film, was just as good but in a different way. I really did enjoy Omen 2. Omen 3, not so much. It was fun, and there's some cheesy deaths in it, but it just didn't have the oomph that Omen 1 and Omen 2 had. Actually, Omen 4, the made-for-cable movie, was probably, in some ways, better than Omen 3. I know it's almost sacrilege to say, but at least it was cheesy, and I knew what it was doing. I knew what it was. It wasn't trying to be too serious. It wasn't trying to be the serious Omen movie that Omen 3 was, and just didn't pull it off. The Omen Collection, that's number 4. Next two are TV shows. One that lasted one season, that should have lasted much longer, and one that lasted many seasons, and probably should have ended a year or two before it did. Hercules Season 1. And before we go any further, when I say buy Hercules Season 1, I mean buy this box set. This exact box set. No, not mine, but buy this one. Again, it's by Anchor Bay, back when they were still doing good stuff. And there are incredible things in this, but the most incredible thing here is I'm not sure if it was USA or Warner Bros. One of them was doing something called the Action Pack, and the Action Pack was a series of action movies that would come on. I think it was like Friday or Saturday nights, and it would basically they'd rotate. So there'd be like one about one martial arts one, there'd be one Hercules one, and there'd be one Smoking the Bandit one. Those are three that I remember right now, anyway. And basically, they ran for like 5 movies each. Usually, I think there may have been a Canada run, but oh God, what is it? Charles Grodin's in the original. Can't for the life of me remember it right now, but I'll probably remember it after the video's over and put it in the comments down below, because I hate annotations. But anyway, the 5 movies are in here along with the series. And there's one other thing, if I can get it really quick. I'll show you that they used to do good stuff with Anchor Bay and give you like cool little features and stuff like that. It's having features and stuff on here. I actually got a Hercules coin. Like, no crap. It's an actual minted coin. It's not plastic. There are features on this which you won't get in the new box sets. They're basically just slim cases with just bare bones. Not even sure if they put the movies on with them. They may have just done the 13 episodes for the season 1 and going to release the movies separately. But if you can still get your hands on this box set, I don't have any of the other ones. I do have a few of these, but another series that I would recommend you get, and in those type of box sets, is Highlander. If you're a fan of the Highlander series at all, they really hit it at the ballpark with those box sets. Just on the side there. And the last one I left because it was a favorite of mine. And this is the complete series, 22 episodes. It was a science fiction series created by J. Michael Straczynski, and that was Goddard, right? Yeah. J. Michael Straczynski and Gary Goddard, yeah. And it was a cool show. It only lasted for one season. It came on on Saturday morning, which was probably the wrong time for it to come on. And it was tied strongly into a toy line. Unfortunately, that didn't work well for it, because the show actually was had some more serious adult tones and some really dark stuff. And it was getting it was incredible, and it was getting better with every episode. It's hard to believe now, but this show was so far advanced, so far ahead of its time, that it may have been just a little bit too ambitious for its own good. Captain Powers and the Soldiers of the Future. Now this has the complete 22 episode series on here, but what's really, really cool, actually there's a couple things. They do season 2 declassified, where basically they tell us where the series was going if they had done season 2. And you're going to really kick yourself and wish that there was a season 2. Also, there's like cast and crew commentaries on this thing, original TV film, The Legend Begins, and the biggest thing about Out of the Ashes, the making of Captain Powers and the Soldiers of the Future. When you see that on there, you usually think, 10, 15, maybe 20-minute featurette if you're lucky, but no, this making of a retrospective of the whole series runs about an hour and a half, and I mean a good hour and a half. You are not bored for 1 second of this thing. This is an incredible series. It was way, way, way ahead of its time. You can go online and YouTube like videos of some of the stuff, and also some of the commercials, and you'll see why the kids line may have just got people to not realize exactly what they were, the possibilities for this show. Of course, the suits and stuff may look a little cheesy for today, but we have to remember that this was not done then. This was done back in 1987, and the stuff that this did, the darkness that it had, the deaths, made you, feel appreciative that something like that was coming on back then. Unfortunately, something like that couldn't make it back then, and it was relegated probably to the showcase, as Showcase would call it, TV too good for TV. Those are 6 box sets that I think should be in everyone's collection if you're into that stuff. We got Captain Power and the Soldier of the Future. I highly recommend this one for any science fiction, fantasy fans, or fans of just well-written programming and great documentaries. This has a great documentary, and if you watch my channel, I'm a documentary freak. If you like the action stuff and cute girls, Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, Season 1. Get this big ass box set. This is 8 discs, and it's an incredible set. If you're lucky, it's unopened and you get the coin with it too. The Omen collection, which everybody by now should have. I have not felt that I needed to upgrade this one on Blu-ray yet, but Omen collection, I strongly advise. It comes out every time that Walmart has a sale. It gets cheaper every time. There's no way you can't get it. Check out for this one. Sometimes you can find this one on for a good price, like a really good price, and that's the Herzog Kinski collection. It's worth it for Nosferatu and Midas Fiend alone. I love all the films on the set. I'm a fan of both Herzog and Kinski, so having their collaborations all in one collection was a no-brainer for me. Bruce Lee collection. Yes, there are many Bruce Lee collections. This may not be the one that you want to get. This just happened to be the one that I have on hand that I like because, again, I haven't felt the need to go Blu-ray on those yet. And if you like film noir, you like classic, alright, so you're into film, then you cannot be into film. You cannot go watch the Criterions and stuff like that and not go and pick up the Samuel Fuller collection. Sony's putting a lot of these great sets. I just wish they were a little bit cheaper. It's a film noir set that I kill for, but right now it's a little bit too expensive. Anyway, if that seemed rushed, that's because I've done this video 4 times, and it drives me up the wall. Thank you for watching. A little more scatterbrained than usual because I've been studying all night, but I wanted to get something out there, and I gotta be honest, I had my kids with me for the last few days doing the videos. I had a blast. Hopefully I'll be able to do more of those because I think it added a lot to the videos, but hopefully I'm not too boring here on my own. So hope you enjoyed the videos, and it's definitely time for tea. Got to get a refresher and a couple hours more studying before I go to sleep tonight. Thanks all.